A warm welcome to those that are joining us for the first time today. Where have you been? Just a reminder that all our episodes are on the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship YouTube page for you to enjoy it anytime that suits you. My name is Mpho Motloung. I'm a Senior Programs Officer at the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, and I'm excited to have all of you join us today. Welcome, everybody. Like I said, let's start. On his opening on Monday, Professor Jonathan Jansen, he referred us to a quote by J. Kennedy, where he said that every generation inherits the world it never made. I was watching a TEDx the other day where Michelle Obama, on her first visit as the first lady, she said that, so she visited her school where she told these learners on her presentation that you can choose to either settle for this world as it is today or build a world as it should be. My question to you then today is, what obstacles are you seeing when you think about your career dreams? What hindrances are you seeing? But more specifically, when you think of changing the world as it is today, what comes to mind? Where would you like to start, for instance? 2 days ago, I spoke about how at Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, we love working with big problems. And mainly because this is how most solutions to the biggest problems are born. The crisis that we are seeing in the world today should be a stepping stone for all of us to improve the way we do things, the way we respond to things. But to be honest, the people that will come out even stronger will be those whose lives and the way of doing things is driven by purpose. You ask, what is purpose? What are you passionate about? What makes you happy and gives you the deepest sense of fulfillment? It can be hard to answer these questions because until lockdown happened, most of our lives was based on routine. Every single day, whether we are aware of it or not, it was routine, routine, routine. For instance, I knew every weekday that I have to wake up at 5:30, take a shower, prepare the kids, go to work, drive on a specific road, that type of thing. Can you remember what your life looked like before lockdown? So to identify your purpose, you really need to look inward. What are those problems when you encounter, you really get bothered and you just wish you could change them? Those things, when you look at them, when you do them, you get fulfilled. You all have different careers that you want to follow, but what is it that makes you happy about that specific job when you do it, or when you think about doing it? Not money, because even with millions in your account, you may never be happy until you have a deep sense of meaning for your work. Identifying a purpose or passion is not easy, I must admit, and I'd be lying to you if I said, you have to know right now what your purpose is. At Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, we know that solving big problems in the education space thrills us. We know that it is through quality education that South Africa will be able to solve most pressing societal problems and inequalities that we see, especially during this period. We believe that freedom starts with education. To solve this big puzzle, we work with people who have a burning desire to shape the future of education in South Africa. We know that there are many complexities around, education, and I'm sure you can agree, and that is why we believe that only the smartest should teach in order for South Africa to build the world as it should be. We believe that access to quality education is a societal, is a social justice, for instance, and high impact teachers can lead change in this area. We believe the future is intentionally created. We therefore begin with the end in mind, consciously and patiently working towards our vision. Throughout our program, we help our candidate fellows unlock their potential, helping them look inwards and get a sense of things that give them that great sense of fulfillment and joy. We also help them weave these things together into our big vision, which is to realize the full potential of all children. We've been together since Monday, and today we explore studying at UP. We started on Monday where we were challenged by Professor Jansen to never let a good crisis go to waste. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your purpose? We have spoken to Wits University, to UC, and to UJ, who all assured us that their institutions are ready and well prepared to deal with applications and admissions right now. They encourage you to apply as soon as possible and to reach out to them should you have any further questions. Today is Friday, day 5 of this series, and we'll be talking to a guest from UP. From June 9, we will be talking to bursary organizations whose work is purpose-driven. This will help you see if being funded by them speaks to your inner purpose. All our videos, like I said, are on YouTube after each talk. Please head over to YouTube after this, subscribe, switch on your notifications so that you can watch all of them and find all the interesting content that we keep posting there. We are live on Facebook and Zoom right now and would love to hear from you. So please use the Q&A or comment section to share all your questions, your concerns, your comments about going to university next year. For all the trips out there, we are on Twitter streets as well as Jakes Gerwel Fellowship. Please comment, drop us something using the hashtag JGF webinar. Going to university shouldn't be a scary thing right now. Not only have we shared some tips and tricks with you over the past couple of days, but each university rep has come here, also enticed us on what makes their university a special one. I would like to introduce to you Dr. Clase from the University of Pretoria. He's a senior assistant director, and we will share with you just how the University of Pretoria is preparing to deal with the effects of COVID-19. Welcome, Dr. Clase. Could you please tell us on your introduction as well if you foresee any challenges for prospective applications in terms of the response to COVID-19? Has the university ensured that this is not going to be a problem for them?
Thank you very much, Mpho, for the opportunity. Can you hear me? Can you hear me on that side?
Can hear you now, Prof. Dr. Clase? I don't know what happened because we did try this out. We did.
Now?
I can hear him.
Can you hear me, Pieter?
Yes, I can hear you. I think it's on the other side, there's a problem.
Mpho, and your side, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mpho, for the opportunity. I always have a soft spot for the education field, and I know that the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship also focuses on students in this field. I think just to put our prospective students also at rest at this stage, despite all the implications of the challenging time that we are in now, at the University of Pretoria, we are geared for a normal application process, and we are doing everything from our side to communicate with parents and prospective students, not to stress too much at this stage, as our processes have been adapted, and we are there to provide information, and the application process specifically for this market is going fine and basically as normal.
Thanks, Doctor. Before you tell us more about UP, I would like to hear from you, why should someone who's thinking about applying to go to university now go to Pretoria? What makes Pretoria special and different from other universities in South Africa?
I always say that we are lucky in South Africa that we have excellent universities offering excellent qualifications. But I would also like to say, at the University of Pretoria, we regard ourselves as an institution of excellence. And we are one of the largest residential and research universities in South Africa, as I believe you know. We are 111 years old, and we are a big institution with about 53,000 students. So that is a well-established institution. We are also looking at rankings. Obviously, we would like to rank ourselves also in comparing with other universities in the world. And according to the QS rankings, the University of Pretoria is ranked amongst the top 1.9% of universities in the world. Now, if you take it into numbers and you take into account that there's about 26,000 universities in the world, then it's something that we are quite proud of. And it gives you an indication of the quality of lecturers, the quality of facilities, the qualities of students that you will find at our institution. We also have excellent achievements in different faculties and different departments that we don't have time, I believe, to go into each one of them. But for instance, our engineering faculty, or our School for Engineering, is ranked amongst the top 1% of universities in the world. So the University of Pretoria is deeply rooted in our commitment to excellence in all spheres, whether it will be in the academic field, whether it's on the sport field, whether it's our student life. And I believe if you visit our campus, then you will also take note of that only the best is good enough for our students. Why I think university is a good choice also for students to offer, and what I see as unique from our side, is that we've got a very high focus at our campuses on student success. It's very important for us not only to attract prospective students to join us, but also to graduate, to be successful in the shortest possible time. And in that regard, we have a campaign that's running now for a number of years that we call the Fly at UP campaign. And that Fly, F-L-Y, stands for the finish line is yours. And the whole purpose of this campaign is to get students to graduation in the shortest possible time. We don't want students who enroll for 3-year programs to take 4 or 5 years to graduate at the end. And because of that aim, there's a lot of support structures on the campus. So students choosing the University of Pretoria can be assured that they will not only be a number on our campus, and that there's assistance all over the place. Whether you encounter problems, academic orientated or related problems like study methods, those kind of things, or time management, there's assistance. Whether students have social problems, emotional problems, we've got a whole team of professionally trained staff members that can assist them. In our residences, we have programs running to look after the wellness of our students, to make sure that they have an environment conducive for studying and to make them successful students at the end. And then I would specifically like to mention also a unique program that we are running now for a number of years, which is our Junior Techie program. And I know we've got close relationships and partnerships also with Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, of which we are really very proud of. The Junior Techie program is a relationship building program. And the main purpose is to build a relationship with prospective students already from a younger age, because we believe it's too late to get to students or learners only in grade 11 and 12, and then expect of them to make responsible study choices and be successful. So this club that we have, members can become members as from grade 9, as young as grade 9. We don't have a limit on the average percentage that they need. It costs them nothing. It's free of charge. They just become a member, and then we start in building a relationship with them. We invite them to a lot of things that's happening on campus to make them used to the university environment. We have a lot of enrichment programs that we offer in mathematics, physical science. There's bursaries involved. We've got winter schools, summer schools. We've got holiday camps where we do with students emotional intelligence, leadership programs, all those things to develop a student in a holistic way to make sure that they can make responsible study choices. Because we experience And I think our prospective students, a lot of them are uncertain about this stage, what they would like to do. And one of the biggest reasons why students drop out in their first year of study is because they don't know, or they enter wrong study programs. And we've got a whole process where we guide students from subject choices in grade 9, when they do their subject choices from grade 10, expose them to careers because often they don't know about all these careers. And then we work back to study programs to make sure that they will at the end enter programs that they are really interested in, because you mentioned it. Interest plays a very big role. You can't be a happy student if you are not studying in programs where you are really interested in.
Thanks, Dr. Clase. I'd like to know, so if an applicant has missed out the opportunity to be part of junior techie or of your enrichment from grade 9, and they find themselves at university next year and realize, oh gosh, this career or degree that I'm doing doesn't suit me. What's available to them? Where can they go? What can they do?
Yeah. Can I just mention also, Mpho, to become a member of the Junior Techie Club? It's very simple. Students, learners from grade 9, just download our web-based app by putting in juniortechieapp.co.za. Junior Techie app, one word, .co.za. Then they download the app, and on the app, there's a link where they become a member. They just slot in their names, mark, school, etc., and they submit, and then we will start communicating with them. In an instance that you just mentioned now, people arriving at the university, while you are a student, you can also become a member, but once you are at the university, we call them Junior Techie ambassadors. And we've got a very special relationship with these students, because the moment they experience problems with study choices, they want to move from one program to another program, the Junior Techie office is the place to go to for advice. We've got a team of advisors that can assist them, that bring them into contact with the faculties where they want to move from and the faculty where they want to go to, and we assist them with the relevant information to make sure that they follow the correct procedures and that they can be considered in that way.
Dr. Clase, before the applicants can benefit from all of those things, they have to get to UP, right? So, you know, the realities of COVID-19 and the effects is something that we cannot shy away from. I'd like to know from you, how is UP preparing, you know, the smooth transition in terms of applications and admissions? How is that being made in such a way that it's easier for prospective applicants, especially for the matrics that are thinking of going to UP next year?
Unfortunately, during the past number of years already, we only have an online application system. So this whole COVID pandemic doesn't have really a big influence on our applications. The student basically just go onto our website, and on the homepage, there's a link that says study. The moment they go to study, they get a menu with really all the relevant information that they need. There's the link where they go to apply to. It's an online process where they apply online, and then from there, the process just go on. So if they experience any problems with the application process, they are also welcome to contact us so that we can advise them on the technical things about that, because that can create a number of problems. But our applications opened 1 March every year, so it opened on 1 March, and we can talk about closing dates, etc. But as soon as possible, they must go onto the website and apply. If I can just also mention one thing here, I know, you know, young people are not always sure about what they would like to do, and they are holding back applications because they first want to make sure, because they rely on the closing date. But closing dates are later in the year, but in reality, there are a lot of programs that are already full by coming to the closing date. So my advice would be for grade 12s, especially now at this stage, even if you are not exactly sure what you would like to study, just submit an application for the program that you think you want to study. And make sure by contacting us or doing some research about what you would really like to do. And if you then realize, listen, I've applied now for the B.Ed intermediate phase, but I would rather like to do the B.Ed senior phase, then it's very simple. You just contact us and we can make the change, the course change on our side. But the big thing is to get in the application, to get your student numbers so that the process can continue, especially also for people who need residence placement, because that is crucial, that they must get, as we only have limited space.
You heard it, grade 12. You need to apply as soon as possible. Dr. Clase, another thing I'd like to know is that, with the current crisis, unfortunately, we've been forced to change the, teaching and learning, the way we do those things. How is UP making this easy, especially for first years, and those that are thinking to come to UP next year? What can they look forward to in terms of the easiness of this process? How is UP handling that teaching and learning process, online teaching and learning?
We realize the situation that schools are in now, the uncertainty going with everything. So communication is very important to us. And we also realize that we are not in the position currently to physically visit schools, to talk to learners, or to attend career exhibitions. Everything now needs to be done, online and digital, etc., etc. But I think from our side, to make it easy, and that is why it's so important that I want students to become a member of the Junior Techie project, and download the app, because we are in the process of planning online mathematics and physical science enrichment classes, where there will be sessions similar to this, and where we get experts that's going to explain to learners and enrich them. We don't want to take the place of the teacher, but we can do a lot from our side to prepare them adequately. We are aware of the delay that may take place with the release of matric results, all those kind of things, but we adapt as an institution, we adapt to that. And we will also move our program for the year, obviously, to accommodate these students. So they mustn't be afraid that, because of things that's going to happen at the schools in the secondary education, that we are not aware of that and that we won't manage that. From our side, we will adapt our timetables also according to what we get from them.
Wow, that sounds like UP has really got this scheme going. Yeah. Tell us, Dr. Clase, what recommendation do you have for your final recommendations for people that are trying to get into any institutions or even UP next year? What would your overall advice be?
I just want to mention one thing, and that they must also take note of. When we get to the application for programs, because that is quite crucial to us. As I've indicated, they must get in their applications as soon as possible. But because of the pandemic that we currently are experiencing, very popular programs like our health sciences, veterinary science, those kind of programs, architecture, that are selection programs. We had to adapt our closing dates because there are other things in place, like writing of the national benchmark test, interviews, etc. So students must please take note that our closing dates for all the programs in health sciences, as well as the 2 programs in veterinary science, has been extended to the 31st of July. It was supposed to be end of May, but it's been extended to 31st of July. The other program where there's an extension of the closing date is for BSc Architecture. It was also, the initial closing date was end of May, now it's end of June. So they must just take note of that. And then also, in applying for the Faculty of Health Sciences, it's required of students to write the national benchmark test. That test has also been extended now to 19 September. That is the last date that those students can apply to write the national benchmark test. We are also, at this stage, we received information that the NBT will be online, can also be online, but we will communicate all these things throughout our website, our Junior Techie app. We send out letters to the schools, etc., etc. Coming to the question at my advice, the biggest thing, and I think that is specifically aimed also on the grade 11 learners. I already mentioned it, that please take time before you look at study programs. Please take time to go and investigate, do a little bit of research on where are you heading towards, to what career. Don't only pick a career because you think you're going to make a lot of money or there's got this certain prestige to this career. It's important. Obviously, we must look at these things, but at the end, they must realize and they must go and decide what career would they like to do. And then they go back and to say, listen, I've done my homework. Now I know I want to become a teacher. And then you can come back and say, okay, fine, I will apply for the B.Ed. So that is the process that we suggest. The other thing that is very important, there's one thing that can guarantee your access into a tertiary institution, and that's your mark. Obviously, with some selection programs, we look at NBT tests or interviews or portfolios that you need to submit, but at the end, it's your grade 11 mark, which is the important one, the end of year result. And I believe the grade 12s will agree with me. So grade 11s, the most important exam in your life that you will write is your grade 11 end exam, because you are going to apply early in grade 12 for studies the following year at the institution. We are not going to look for conditional admission to your grade 12 mid-year marks. We are only looking at grade 11 end year results. So if you miss that mark, we can't consider you for your study program. All the doors are not closed, because you can still use the grade 12 to up your marks to make sure, but then it may result in the fact that you're going to extend your studies with 1 year, because you will only be able to be admitted, a year later. So that would be my advice. And the other thing that I would like to say is, believe in yourself. Make sure what you would like to study. Have a look at what the requirements are. Work hard to make sure that you meet those requirements, and then just believe that you can do it and use the support structures around you. You will not be able to do it on your own. Use your school, use your teachers, use the advice of your parents, use the help, the assistance that we offer from University of Pretoria through our junior techie office. We are really there in your interest, and to make sure that you make a responsible study choice at the end. And when you make your choice, that we can assist you in all kinds of ways to do that transition from school to the university, which is quite a tough transition.
Thanks, Dr. Clase, for such wise words. I do have a question here from Rochelle Diamond, who says, good day, would UP also suggest that learners accept a conditional acceptance for a second choice, and would this affect consideration for your first choice?
Thank you very much for that question. This is a very important question, because people apply for more than one study program, which is exactly what they should do. If you apply, for instance, for a first choice, which is a selection program, the selection results will only be known later in the year. If you are, in the meantime, conditionally admitted for your second choice, please go onto your student portal and accept that offer, because that will allow you to go on with the process, complete the contract, etc., and it will not be your disadvantage. The selection for your first choice will go on as normal, and when you are then at the end successful in being conditionally admitted also for your first choice, then we will cancel your second choice. But don't keep back until you hear from your first choice. It won't be to your disadvantage if you accept that choice.
Someone would also like to know, does UP offer sports bursaries? And if it does, how can we access them?
We do offer sport bursaries. All the bursary applications at the university is an online process where you're going to apply, and it will open on the 1st of August. Regarding sport bursaries, there are sport bursaries available. Our suggestion is, even if they are now in grade 11 and 12, to contact the specific person at the specific sporting coach. Say, for instance, it's for hockey. You can log onto TIC Sport website, and then you will get the person that is in charge of that. They want to talk to you to find out what are your achievements in the sport, and then they, from their side, there's also an application form that they will send you that you must complete, and then they will consider your application. I know that the TIC Sport people are looking at achievements in both grade 11 and your 12 phases. So they've got a score sheet that they will listen to all your achievements, and based on that, there are some scores allocated, and then they will give you a good indication what your chances are to get a bursary, and obviously also what the amount will be.
Dr. Clase, thank you. Do you have any final advice or input, maybe something you might have skipped that you'd like to share now with your prospective applicants?
Just before my last words, I just received a question here, or someone asking, can you change programs? As we've indicated, it's possible. If you enter a certain program and you want to change to another program, you can come to us and we will refer you to the relevant faculty. Obviously, the success of such a transfer will depend on the availability of space in the program that you want to go into and whether you meet the requirements. My final suggestion and recommendation also to students is, please do not stress. See this as an exciting exercise to decide what you would like to do, and just be assured that there's enough assistance. Don't sit at home and wonder about things and don't know what to do. Please contact us, and the easiest way for you guys to do now is, when we are done here, download the Junior Tikkie app, because we've got an interactive application that we can immediately answer your questions, and our program director or project manager for Junior Tikkie, Dr. Pieter Clase, is also on the Zoom meeting now, and I can assure you that he will give you guidance and he will assist you in all possible ways.
Before I let you go, Dr. Clase, I have that one question that I'd like to ask you, and then after that we'll just go quickly to Petrus. I'd like to know, who was your favorite teacher while you were at school and why?
Wow, that is there's one that immediately gets to my mind, and that is my maths teacher that I had in high school. It was a lady, but I think because of three reasons. She was an expert in a subject. She was very passionate about what she was doing, and she didn't only regard the learners, when we were learners there, as numbers. She taught us in all different ways, all the life lessons that we also need, and to believe in ourselves. And I think that is why initially I also became a maths teacher. But what I later on realized, when I was also a school principal, that I didn't really realize the influence that the teacher had on the lives of so many people. And I also realized that we shouldn't just concentrate on those teachers of which we have a good experience. That's good, it's motivational. But when you think back later on in life, also those people that you maybe dislike a little bit, because you learn life lessons through that, how to manage people when you get older. So you must use all the opportunities, and an excellent career, to be prepared for the future is exactly in the education. And that is why I have a very soft spot also for teachers in general.
It was really great. Thank you, Dr. Clase. Let's go quickly to Dr. Lombard. Do you have any final input for your future students that are coming to UP, and just speak about the Junior Tikkie app, which sounds really, really interesting?
Okay, can you hear me and see me? Okay, I just want to tell the kids, I always tell them, I had a teacher, Mr. Isley, that when I was in matric, my marks was so low that I would not qualify to study at the University of Pretoria. And he said to me, my nickname was Smiley, if you don't sit on your butt and you study, you will never ever get somewhere. And I actually go and sit on my butt and I study until I was 60. So it doesn't matter if your marks are not good in grade 11. There's always a chance if you start studying. But yeah, I also post on the group my cell phone number. I've got 31 WhatsApp groups at this stage, ranging from 50 to 250 kids. And I'm there to assist them. They just WhatsApp me And I've got a process how they help them, and also those that can't afford the 300 Rand fee, I can also assist on that one. But it's very, very important. If you're not a junior techie and you don't have the app, it means that I don't know you and I can't assist. And that's very, very important. There's a lot of information. There's video material. There is a lot of stuff that you can just download. Look at maths, science, live streaming. There's a lot of interesting study fields that people don't know about, that we send notifications. So please. And then one of the main important things is, if you start your application, finish it. If you don't submit it, I'll submit it afterward if we assist you of your application fee. And then follow up, follow up, follow up. So many kids don't submit, and they wait until the beginning of next year and they say, but UP don't let me know that they accept me. So that's very, very important. Just finish your application and then study and sit on your butt and study as hard as you can to make a success of your matric. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lombard. I don't know about sitting on your butt, but I'm all for hard work, that they should work really hard. And just on the point, yeah.
No, that's the only place how you can study. Sit on your butt, on a chair.
Yes, and be comfortable.
Not on your bed.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much from our guest from UP, Dr. Clase. I liked how you touched on the issue of passion, you know, when you mentioned your teacher. And I just want to remind everyone that is watching right now that when passion becomes a career, you don't just excel, you become unstoppable. You produce people such as myself, such as Dr. Clase and the others. Michelle Obama also said that by getting an education, you can define your destiny. At Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, we nurture talent, we unlock potential. We believe that access to quality education is a social justice issue and that high impact teachers can lead change in this area. If this vision speaks to you, please head over to our website and apply. If you are a leader, if you are a teacher, and you know someone that would align to this vision, please do go ahead and nominate them. I hope you have enjoyed. Our week of Accessing University, and keep a lookout on all our social media pages for how you can register for the next one, which starts on 9 June, where we will be speaking to bursary providers, their vision and their passion. Make sure that you are following us on all social media pages, like I said, so that you don't miss out on a thing. Remember, you have to apply to more than one university for you to be able to get in, and also more than one option, like Dr. Clase was saying. All the best, everyone. I know that some of you are going back to school on Monday. We have everything you need to succeed. All universities are there to support you. All your teachers are there to advise you. We are all rooting for you to be the best that you can be. And just a reminder to those that are applying to the Alan Gray Opus Foundation Scholarship that it is closing today. So before you go to bed, please make sure that your application is finished and it is sent over. Thank you once again. It's been a great week. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend as you wash those shirts to go back to school till we meet again on the 9th of June. Bye.